Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Telling Tales. Here we tell atmospheric stories together through the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It is Monday evening, and we are playing Masks of Nyarlathotep with 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. More on that in a moment. But first, promotion. Below the stream are links to our other streaming sites, our YouTube if you're watching on Twitch, Twitch if you're watching on YouTube. YouTube has a whole host of things from the last 5+ years of us doing this. Did somebody say 5 years? Yes, there is a 5-year anniversary video on YouTube featuring lots of clips and discussions around the best things that we have done on the channel. You like the channel? Why not support us on the Patreon? Also linked below the stream. That's as much segueing as I can do. There is also social media and our Discord, which you can join and come and chat with us and other people who watch the channel and are involved in the channel and have previously been involved in the channel, and we can convince you to spend all your money on Kickstarter things and books that we recommend or something. Cool. So Masks of Nyarlathotep. We are currently in England. The group started, the group initially met each other and their new friend Jackson Elias in Peru. They solved a strange thing that was going on there, and then kind of went their own separate ways again for a while. Jackson Elias then invited them to come to New York as he had information on an apparently destroyed expedition, the Carlisle expedition. Everybody was believed dead. He thinks that they may not be, so invited the group to come and discuss that with him. The group then, unfortunately, before they had a chance to speak to him properly, found him brutally and ritualistically murdered. They then went on to solve that. It was cult activity. It will surprise you, I'm sure, to learn. They then decided to kind of backwards trace Jackson Elias's research into the Carlisle expedition from the most recent bit backwards, which is what has led them to England. Initially London, they have found that there may be some more cult activity at the, sort of centered around the Blue Pyramid Club, and the spice shop owner that they met, Zara Shafiq, may be in charge of it, may no longer have anything to do with it. She did admit to having something to do with it at some point. The group are torn on whether they think that she is the big boss or no longer involved at all. Now following another lead, which is related to the Penhew Foundation, which Jackson Elias had a business card of. They are looking into the person who runs it and have followed the trail to the guy's name is Edward Gavigan. They have followed his trail to a place that he also owns and operates called Henson Manufacturing in Derby. So that is where the group went last week, and they are staying in a very nice, maybe haunted hotel. So the previous session ended with them going to sleep at the end of the night, I think. So we will be on to a new day, which will be the 16th of February. And speaking of the haunted hotel, let's bring on Sam first, who plays Mrs. Farwell. Hey, Sam.
Definitely haunted. Hello. Yeah. Hello. I even got a name, I think. Yeah, Miss Graves. That's right. Oh no, that was the name of the lady who was running the place. I was thinking if I have a name, I need to ask a name for that. The woman I saw in the night. That's right. Yeah, it's safe to say I actively saw, but I was a ghost who appeared for a few seconds in the room and then just vanished in front of my eyes. So, that was exciting, given I was the one who chose this hotel based on potential for paranormal visitations. So very happy about that. Lost no sanity, which was an extra bonus from that, I suppose. But yeah, I think overall, Mrs. Farwell is still apprehensive about the whole scenario with the place we're trying to investigate in Derby? Sort of, are we breaking in? What are we doing? What is the plan? Do we have much evidence that there is really anything actually untoward going on here? So yeah, I'm curious to see how the day plays out when it comes to planning our entrance, I suppose, if that's what we decide to do. I'm not really sure if we actually had definitely decided we were going to do that or not yet, so I guess we'll find out.
Cool, thanks. Let's bring on Justin, who plays Mr. Wilfred Farwell. Hey,
Hello.
Justin. Mr. Farwell, have a good night in the spooky hotel?
Yeah, I mean, it's same old, isn't it? We go to the hotel, there's a ghost again, that kind of thing. Whether or not Mrs. Farwell has said anything about it, I know what's happened. It's always the same. There's always a ghost. There's always something. And you know what? I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I'm used to it. It's no judgment on whether the truth or validity of it. I'm just saying, yeah,
we'll move
it's
to
the
ghost
same.
room.
We're in a ghost room. There's a ghost. It's spooky, but otherwise, a good night's sleep.
I like the idea that Mrs. Farwell walked back in the room and you immediately picked up the last thing that you had put into the drawer and started replacing them back into the suitcase before she'd even said anything.
Sure.
I'm just going to go backwards across my screen. So next we'll have John, who plays Merritt Barton. Hey, John.
Hi, Johnny.
How's Merritt in Derby?
He's fine. He's I think, as always, feeling a little bit lost. Not because he's in Derby, although many who find themselves in Derby are lost. More just
without any hope.
Because more just because he is in the middle of a mystery and not sure where it's going. And that's life sometimes.
That's what all the people say.
In Derby.
Thanks, John. Finally, for this evening, because Jack sadly can't join us, we'll have Steve, who plays Edwin Price. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Johnny.
How's Edwin feeling about the potential of breaking into a manufacturing facility?
I don't think Edwin has been thinking about the potential of breaking, certainly not Edwin's breaking in. That would be
illegal.
Well, yes, fundamentally. So, yes, I think so. Regular viewers may have formed the impression that actually, as investigators go, we're not necessarily very good at it. Still fumbling around with the whole, what direction should people take? Where are the moral lines? How do we avoid getting killed by cultists? That is generally the thing that I think we spend a lot of our time thinking about. So in terms of what we do here, I think so far we've done okay out of bumbling around until things happen to us. But at some point we're going to have to, take the initiative and try something. It's just as to what that is, I'm not sure we know right now.
I really am liking to hear that there is a more appetite for just doing things and not thinking about them.
I mean, my general appetite at the moment is not doing things like, not aggravating guards, not getting shot. Those are my main concerns. I think we have some, we can talk to people in pubs. We can try to talk to employees and maybe do a bit of. We could try rolling better dice. I think that's probably the main thing that I picked up from last week's session.
I mean, wasn't that the reason we decided to end the session rather than continuing?
Yeah, we just were rolling like absolute. Yes. We got one small bit of information that Arthur Henson had retired to Cornwall, the previous owner. But I think that was about it, other than the ghosts, which Jack's character just ignored because ghosts don't exist. Yeah,
If there's a way for him to rationalize, he will. That's what we know about Ted.
I mean, if we
Not
could...
Jack.
No, no. of course
Jack
not.
could jump at anything.
Pun? Jumping. Anyway, yeah.
In session, his door did like open itself, didn't it? So confirmed
Mine?
ghost. No,
Yeah.
Jack's door, didn't it? Yeah.
Oh, mine did.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah. Cool. 16th of February. You awake and are treated to a wonderful breakfast at the Old Bell Hotel, assuming that you are having breakfast there. It is room and board, so you may as well.
I think I'm immediately looking to ask Miss Graves while we're at breakfast more about the ghost in room 6 that we're staying in.
Yeah, that'll be Mabel.
Oh, okay.
A very sad story about that one, I'm afraid.
Whatever happened?
Well, you may have guessed, assuming that you've seen her in the same kind of garb as everybody else. She was a linen maid here.
Yes.
Years ago, but she I'm afraid that she heard about the death of her husband, and well, she didn't take well to it, as I'm sure you can imagine, and it got the better of her.
Oh,
Very sad.
that is very tragic. Is there any... I can't say I'm an expert on these sorts of things, of course, but I have the impression that when the souls of those gone linger, there is some reason for it. Is there anything she seems to be trying to do or hasn't let go of in this place?
Well, there's always beds to be made, she says with a little smile.
Of course.
To be more serious with you, though, Mrs. Farwell, I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything here. I think maybe she's just... don't know, perhaps still waiting for him to come home.
What a tragic story. Well, thank you anyway.
You are, you know,
for the rest of the group,
yeah.
by the way.
You're topped up with, you know, hot drinks or juice or whatever you require while you're having breakfast. Ted's ignoring Mrs. Farwell's conversation.
I'm just wondering
assume.
whether Mrs. Graves is some example of normative determinism. Maybe not that. That's maybe not how Farwell would be saying that, but you know, or maybe she murdered the ghost.
Can you murder a
Can you
ghost?
murder ghosts?
I think murder the person rather than the ghost.
To a ghost, an exorcist.
If we can't murder ghosts, yeah, exactly, yeah. If we can't murder ghosts, we're in a whole heap of trouble.
I mean, I feel like Mrs. Farwell has unlocked a side quest here of trying to bring peace to Mabel. So you know,
Anything to avoid breaking into the factory.
you said
It's like
it.
some people can't help but adopt a lost cat. Mrs. Farwell sees a ghost and she says, that ghost has chosen me to look after it. It's like, that ghost belongs to someone. That ghost has a house already. It has a haunting. It has its own stuff going on. You're like, no, it wants me to solve this problem. It's haunting me specifically. It appeared to me. And so I need to scoop this ghost up in my arms and take it away from whatever situation it was. This ghost is the livelihood of this hotel. And Mrs. Farwell is...
I mean, she wants to be.
I just love the idea that Edwin gets a sniff of not having to carry out illegal activities, and he's suddenly got like a Ouija board, a sensor, and like just loads of things in his arms. And...
Let's do this ghost.
The
Probably
question
less
is,
dangerous.
though, if she was a worker here, that's, I mean, it may not have been a haunted hotel before then, but it does mean, hang on, I had a point and it's completely abandoned me. No, it's not worth it.
Do we know when she died? Would she know about the factory before Gavigan? We can't interview ghosts. That is.
That's so specific. Now, about this factory.
I would say that Mrs. Farwell, from your understanding of different types of ghost, this seems to be the type of ghost that is like in a loop, and it's just a spectral vision rather than something that can be interacted with or that has any wants or needs of its own.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not still trapped, but it's not so easy to communicate with. Yeah. That makes sense.
You probably can't ask it about Henson Manufacturing pre-1921.
This is the GM saying, "Stop fiddling with the ghost, for God's sake."
I think
you can do as you please. I just,
I will leave it to my considerations for now. I don't think I've got any further actions to take on the ghost front. But if anyone asks, I will show you.
All quiet on the ghost in front. Got it. Right. So, I also don't necessarily think breaking in is the best way forward, but it is. Yeah. I wonder if I had any ideas.
We did fail last time to actually get any information out of the library, so we could swap parties and do a bit more looking around. There might be sort of, commerce clubs or societies or organizations that would have more information about, the factory and its owners and changing hands and so on. Local business leaders, that sort of thing. I'm sure they have.
It would be valuable. At the very least, if we can figure out if there is any genuine reason why it should go in there. As you say, there must be something about what they've produced or what they're doing. We have some time today, I suppose. So,
Jonny, did we see when we were watching over the place as it was yesterday? Were there any vans that went in and out, or carts, or was anything? Was it
you didn't see any yesterday while you were there,
right?
Just people. Yeah,
just
I was keeping an eye out for that.
7 people going in and out at different times.
You imagine there must be things that go in, like there is a vehicle gate,
and there was the foreman we saw, wasn't there? Which was kind of the only distinction from just the regular workers.
And a night watchman, yeah.
We could try speaking to the workers.
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
I suppose that's probably more safer than immediately breaking in, isn't it?
If we position ourselves in the cafe on their lunch hour again.
Yeah. As long as we don't give them our home address and full names, I think it's more safe. But we have found that speaking to people can be very dangerous.
You're ever down in London? So we'll go to the cafe at lunch break, I suppose. Try going to the library again beforehand. I was also, while we're here, curious if we can follow up about what happened in Edale. There might be some local papers that have more information.
That's true.
I was thinking similarly.
Did you wear out your welcome at the newspaper last time?
Oh, not at all. You look at Jack and get the impression we very much did. Jack's character, I should say, Ted.
I
But
think
they were
Ted's
very
probably
rude,
like,
so-
I'm sure I could go back.
Winifred brushes it up and goes, but my time will be better used at the library anyway.
Right. Who's going where then?
I'll go to the library. I'll see what I can dig out.
I'm not sure where I went last time. I think
I suspect you probably went to the newspaper office.
You
Yeah.
went with Mrs. Farwell.
There's also, and it might be. No, never mind. We think about that after lunch. It doesn't matter.
Right, I'll have
No.
Ted just stick with the Farwells and go to the library with them. I think keep the same groups, but the other way around, I guess.
That sounds good.
So
Mr.
if
Price and
everybody, sorry, go on, John.
I was going to say Mr. Price and myself to the newspapers. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can.
Unless you have a different notion. I'm more than open to ideas.
No, I'm just trying to remember what they asked last time, so we can avoid necessarily. We can certainly. Edale's fine. If we were to go in and ask immediately again about.
I think we were trying to find out about the sale. From memory. We
Yes.
found nothing.
Yeah, let's go in and ask about Edale then. So you're right, it wouldn't do to associate ourselves with those people that were here yesterday.
Okay, so Justin and Sam and I'll roll for Jack if you want to make library use rolls for at the library and tell me what you're looking for. John and Steve, it's up to you if you want to do library use or try and do some kind of interpersonal skill to get them to find and provide you some information. Or like, at least if you went in and said, has anybody recently written about blah?
Ooh.
It will depend on I suppose if you're looking for stuff to do with the sale, you'd be more likely to want to actually look through the papers. Or you can do a bit of both. It's the other.
I'm kind of tempted to try fast talk to kind of weave round a series of topics. Like trying to pick up on any interesting news stories like the ones about Edale. And then kind of, yes, weaving around various topics and maybe mentioning Gavigan. But yeah, basically any asking about Edale and if there are any other interesting, noteworthy stories of a similar nature, I think, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, give me a fast talk roll, John.
I would like to go for library use.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I am successful with the Edale and I'm quick, then I might also look up any information for Henson.
Okay.
Without anyone looking at me.
Okay.
I have new dice this week. That is a pass.
Oh, I rolled a 66 over 63.
Oh, that's got to be a spend, surely.
Okay, yes, why not? Just so I actually have one success in 2 weeks.
Taking fast talk's good.
But you can't tick fast talk unless
we've been house ruling that.
Yeah,
everyone's breaking rules apart from you, Steve.
Everyone's breaking right
because we get our tick scores so rarely. Johnny agreed.
If you're willing to lower yourself to our level of play, then you take away. It's only your soul that you're.
I feel like this is actually Edwin's roleplay throughout the whole. This is the story of Edward Price.
The corrupting influence of role-playing games.
Sam and Justin, how did you fare?
Obviously, terribly. Like, it's just.
My dice are on a roll so far. I got a 6, so an extreme success for me.
Oh, and what are you
Um,
looking for?
I was trying to find. I'm not expecting the library to necessarily have like modern information on Henson manufacturing because it's not really. It's more like that's more like trader stuff. But I'm trying to find if there's any old records about like what sort of things were produced in the area because it's obviously like what I'm thinking about is it's a very particular manufacturing place to have bought. If you see what I mean, for this guy to have got this specific place in Derby, so maybe it's a bit specialist. So maybe it's talked about in some old records, relatively old records, or like information about Derby, or this even if it's not by name, this workshop in this area is tied to this industry. That's the sort of thing I'm looking for, including in materials in or out and stuff like that.
Okay. So
What's the mineral deposits like, Johnny, in this region? We need to know if is this a glacial till. What's the geology like here? Because that will have informed the manufacturing. Is there good coal seams, Johnny? What does the book say about the coal seams?
it was parts manufacturing, like mechanical parts manufacturing. It was partially for part of World War One. It was commandeered for creating like tank parts. So yeah, that's sort of like heavy duty machinery creation. So it was never really anything super specific that it like for a long time, if you know what I mean. It was more like we can make cogs and like wheel arms and whatever else. So there's probably been some car parts from cars that have driven around here that you'll have seen that will have come from this factory and so on.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
Okay, Steve, you ticked on your fast talk, and John, you also succeeded on a library use. And John, you were looking for Derby?
First check, I was checking about anything reports on Lesser Edale or Lower Edale.
Lesser Edale, yeah. Okay, so you find when you are in the Derby Daily Telegraph, he says, I'm pretty sure that was what it's called. There is an article about Derby Daily Telegraph, headlined "The Beast of Lesser Edale," which describes terrified villagers bolting their doors at night in fear of a howling beast, and mentions the recent murders in the village. And then you were looking for Henson stuff as well. Nothing else new. Like nothing that kind of, or maybe like the tiniest little bits that you didn't know, but nothing that's of any relevance, you don't think.
Right.
Steve, Edwin having a conversation with one of the reporters. Essentially, again, you get a lot of similar information to what you've already had about the purchase, and he mentions the article which Merritt finds about the Beast of Lesser Edale, as well as that part of the conversation. But he also, as you kind of weave around, and you probably ask similar questions to what the Farwells have been looking for about the history of the manufacturing company and such. He kind of at one point spills, and I think it's meant to be some kind of like government thing. Yeah, they're all pretty hush hush about it.
Fascinating. That's
Yeah, every now
That's
and
interesting.
again, there's these big boxes that come in from, well, some, I don't know, abroad somewhere, but they're all stamped with something to do with some foundation, and yeah, but not things don't go in and out as much as you would expect for somewhere that's meant to be making machine parts and stuff, you know. We keep an eye on it when we're passing, but we never see anything that's worth writing about in the papers. So everybody reckons that guy might be, you know, the guy that bought it. He might be some kind of government guy.
Oh, fascinating. Yes, well, I'll have to, perhaps do a bit more digging, see what. Certainly intriguing. I mean, it must be exciting having at least good for the economy of the area. If you're getting a slice of government money, that must be good for everybody concerned, I imagine.
We don't really see it. There's a few of the lads from there are put up nearby. I think the person who's having them stay is doing all right for themselves, but
his workers are what, fresh to the area? Are they?
No, not the workers, the guards.
Guards. Oh, I see. Right. Interesting.
Yeah, the foreman, who I think that fella put in place, I think he came with a group, security. It's another point to add to thinking it's maybe government stuff.
Bringing his own people in. That is interesting.
Mm.
Any idea of how many?
Ooh. I'm
Shame
not sure,
to be
actually.
taking jobs away from the local economy. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, but kept a few of the lads on that worked there before, so at least they haven't done the old, totally replace everybody with their own workforce.
Indeed, yes, that's far too prevalent in this this day and age. He says, not knowing about it. Ah, interesting. Yes, well, Edwin will continue, rambling, but that is quite interesting information. That's yes.
Cool. Reconvene. Unless anybody has anything else they want to do on the way there or back.
I'm scared to try in case I mess it up. That's all. I'm happy to reconvene, and it sounds like Edwin's been very successful.
Well, very is a strong word, but it does appear at least that
last time.
So yes, boxes from abroad marked with foundation. Presumably, these are Penio Foundation, which is interesting, given one wouldn't usually expect an archaeological foundation to be importing materials suitable for a manufacturing plant.
And all I found at the library was indeed exactly as you would expect from a manufacturing plant. They've been involved in tank parts and stuff during the war, but nothing particularly unusual. Probably car parts as well. Perhaps they need to do something or build something with these things they're shipping in from Africa, perhaps? We don't really know at this stage, do we? We're just assuming.
Or perhaps Gavigan is using the Foundation's funds to subsidize his own private business?
what is the business if these things are being shipped in from abroad? And they have Pennu Foundation written on them.
And apparently the volume isn't anything remarkable. So either they're selling for a vast amount each, or well, other than that, it seems unlikely that they're turning a profit on. They're not exactly, wagons aren't rolling out of the gate every hour of the day. So, and they have their own. Yes, they brought in their own personal guards. Apparently, the foreman and the guards are new employees that Gavigan installed himself, I believe. Going off what the chap at the newspaper said.
Not the workmen, though.
Not the workmen, no.
Interesting. Well, that implies whatever's going on in there isn't blatantly illegal or strange.
But it does imply at least that Gavigan is rather sensitive to, secrets leaking out, espionage.
I wonder if he's keeping the manufacturing open as a front for whatever he's importing.
I
mean, if we're lucky enough to see anything arrive or leave, I don't know.
It would be really very valuable if we could somehow get access to one of those crates before or after they go in there, but that seems like rather a tall order.
I wonder if he uses his own transport as well. If it was just a standard courier, then perhaps we could intervene and have a quick look ourselves. Maybe pass a little money around. But if he's using his own people, then that would be rather less likely to succeed and also rather more risky for us, I guess.
Risky to achieve without even knowing where they're coming from or who's doing it.
Well, there's a few ideas. I've got a few schemes that might work, but without knowing that, without knowing when a delivery might happen, it's very difficult to plan. You'd want to stake it out for a little while.
Well, that might be information that we could glean from some of the workforce.
But it's a simple thing. It's only there's not that many good roads here, and a tire goes. Someone's caught on the side of the road, needs someone to help out. Oh, look who arrives. There's ways of doing things if things need to get done. And I can't really see a way of them going wrong.
In a way, it does feel safer, perhaps, than trying to get into the compound with guards and everything else going on in there. And I must admit, from what you've said, Mr. Price, I'm also somewhat nervous about talking to the workmen, because clearly they are trusted with secrets that guards are protecting. They must be in some way relied upon, part of this business. Perhaps they're paid well, perhaps they're on board with this somehow, but...
Or they're kept ignorant to maintain a facade of normalcy. I think it would be interesting to see what they think of their new foreman.
But either way, we should treat that conversation with caution.
Yes, we should perhaps not leap in to explain that we are looking for some dastardly cult. Just at least on this occasion.
We're really good at dealing with cults, guys. Really good at it. So that is still our next plan of action then, I suppose.
I would say so.
Right.
I feel like my time would not be best used trying to talk to the workmen. I feel like of the lot of us, I probably stand out most in a sense. I might try... Oh, it's such a tall order. But I might try and, Jonny, figure out... Just have a look at a map I'm presuming a map could be relatively easily accessed for the town. Try and figure out a route that delivery vehicles might use to get to Henson Manufacturing. And then maybe just, while the others are at the cafe, wander in the direction that I suspect they might go to see if there's
I
back
I
road or
think
something.
I think Mrs. Farrell's doing herself a disservice. I can't imagine a single workman that wouldn't enjoy the company of a nice woman on his lunch break. You know,
Yes, but
having a
my
nice
concern
chat.
is my concern is I'm also the most memorable of us all.
Well, I think so, but who knows what they think?
Oh, you're so charming, darling.
There are quite a few different potential ways that they could come in. But you can make me
Okay, a roll, that makes sense. Navigation?
maybe, yeah,
Go
I was
for
going to
it,
say a
whatever.
navigate roll.
Well, I have 10 in that, so let's see if I get a tick. Tick would be nice.
Do it. Drum roll, please.
57. No.
Okay. But then can you also make me a luck roll?
Yeah, sure. I can succeed at a luck roll.
What did you roll?
27 under 60.
Okay. What I was going to do there is if you rolled really well on the navigate, you would need less good luck, vice versa.
But the question is,
but
do I know if I've rolled the luck? Does it give me an indication? Because looking at a map, I'm trying to go, is it worth choosing a route? If I got a navigate, I would have known. But a luck roll, I don't really know.
No.
I'm just going, maybe.
No, but I think you have picked somewhere that you think is the right way.
Okay.
Even if you had
Okay.
succeeded on a navigate roll, you probably would have been almost as sure that it was the right way, if that makes sense. But yeah, so are you sort of positioning yourself somewhere waiting to see if a truck comes?
Yeah, I guess I might do that. In the back of my mind, Mrs. Farwell is coming up with a crazy idea how she could try and stop a truck by herself right now.
Okay. And everyone else is going to the cafe.
Why not? Yes.
I think Ted might have offered to go with Mrs. Farwell.
I think that's a good idea.
Just
Yeah,
to
probably
take
a
a
good
bullet
idea.
for her.
Okay, so the
Unwanted bullet sponge.
the group in the cafe. What time do you go to the cafe for? There's a question first.
Well, what time did they go
It's a
back
trick
from
question.
lunch yesterday? Was it about 1?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to assume 12, because they'll have the lunch hour at the same time every day. So yeah, be there for a bit after 12. Does that make sense to people?
Sure.
Sure,
Yes.
yeah, seems fair. Did I ask last time whether there were any sort of, whistles or sirens audible during lunch breaks and whatnot, like in factories? I think I was going to ask whether there was any obvious change of sort of not exactly shift, but
didn't
signal
notice anything.
Right.
So can you make spot hidden rolls while you're walking down the road, please?
This is people going to cafe or
to the cafe? Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Is this to spot the paw prints of a huge, lumbering beast? I fail with the same result that I've been rolling basically all day, which is mid-80s.
I rolled a 3.
Good. I'm glad somebody got a success.
John, Merritt sees everybody else sees a group of people basically heading over the road from Henson Manufacturing as you are approaching, which look to be a similar or the same group as yesterday. But what Merritt sees is that there's also another group going into Henson Manufacturing at the same time, dressed in similar outfits. So Merritt thinks perhaps 2 different groups that are on different lunch breaks is the obvious. That's the Occam's razor situation, because they look to be dressed similarly.
So-
Similar sized
okay.
group. You don't know exactly how many there were, but a similar sized group to the group that you saw yesterday.
That makes sense.
So yeah, you head into the cafe. Again, there are the people that you are pretty sure now are from Henson Manufacturing and some other people, all getting sort of egg and
Just
other such similar things.
Spam.
Spam.
No avocado on toast.
No avocado on toast. Just egg and tea.
God, it's like living in the dark ages.
In the
lovely.
same bowl.
You've heard of egg drop soup.
This is
There is
silly.
tea snake. Sorry, yes.
No, I've made it silly, I think. Eggs. They're having eggs and tea and toast. Maybe. That kind of thing. You know, the kind of thing that they would have.
Jonny, are you sure you're a human being? I'm not convinced you've ever been to a cafe before. These things that you people
Savage.
do in cafes.
I haven't been
we
to a
finally
cafe in
caught one.
1925. That's my problem. It's eggs. So yes, they're all ordering a very normal human lunch that you would get from a cafe across the road from a manufacturing plant
In Derby.
in Derby.
I don't know if that would actually change the meal, but yeah.
Yep.
They put cream on their Yorkshire puddings before the jam. I think I really have struggling to work out how I would engage with them because I don't know. My brain is going like the only way to get someone to talk to surefire way to get someone to talk about something is to say the wrong thing and then they'll correct you. But I think a smarter way of doing this is simply to roll a charm roll and see what I get and see if my character can be more intelligent than me.
Fine. That's what the rolls are for.
In theory, they are, aren't they? You know,
You could offer to get them more egg, you know.
yeah, you want another egg with your egg. I can roll a psychoanalysis to see what this egg tells me about their
See
internal-
how many eggs they want.
Egg all round.
Oh, balls.
Egg on the
An
hand.
egg sharing.
Eggs on me.
Okay, it's possible for me to pass, and I do pass. I rolled 47 under 48, so it's
Nice.
It's a
And what's
pass.
that for? Charm.
the charm to be
Okay.
go. Oh, well, you know, it's the usual Farwell patter. You know, it's not quite as sophisticated as Price's spy stuff that he does, but like, you know,
I asked you to not talk about the spy stuff.
apologies.
Okay. See, are you attempting to not like
Yeah, no,
blatantly,
so
but the
my-
point of this
my-
conversation is to get information out of
Yeah,
them about
the point of the conversation we've kind of got is we wanted to talk about like we're talking to the workers who have not been replaced, so we think that Farwell thinks that they might all be like mind slaved by this cult, you know. But that's like you know, I've got that in the back of my head, but it's not the main theory. Yeah, so if they're regular non-cult people, then they might have some. You might be able to get something out of them about this, and I guess what we're really looking for is I'm interested mostly in is what exactly is in those crates, but I might not be able to get that with a 47 under 48.
Okay. You notice that 6 of the people seem to have gone and sat down. They don't seem to. They have
Cool.
gone and sat down. And one person is still essentially waiting to presumably give everybody's order.
To get his egg, yeah.
This person looks younger than the rest of them and is potentially an apprentice. I think Wilfred would recognize
Sure, yeah.
an apprentice versus everybody else. So he's kind of, separated from the pack, as it were, at present. It's up to you if you want to go try and speak to him or go and try and speak to the...
Sure, yeah. No, Far will identify a vulnerable young man separated from his friends and go, this is the target. This is the schmuck. We're going to get the information out of him. That's what's happening here.
Okay. He just gives his order to the person and turns around, and you are there. As presumably are Merritt and Edwin, unless they are going off doing anything else.
Did I?
And he sees you looking and kind of nods.
Good egg?
The best?
Yeah. I don't know what the way this conversation is.
Who mentioned eggs? This is totally derailed.
Really,
you know who had good eggs? The factory I used to work at. They used to give us eggs every break. We didn't even have to go out to the cafes to get them. Do they not have do you guys not have enough people in that huge factory to have some kind of catering service? Does not someone used to come around with a trolley, eggs, anything you want, a bit of sweets, nothing?
No. Well, we don't need it. The cafe's only here, isn't it?
That's true. That's true. And it is good.
Saves the boss hiring somebody else, I suppose.
Yeah. I've only just I'm only just visiting. I'm a bit of a busman's holiday. I like to go around to factory towns and talk to people because
he kind of looks you up and down, and you can see he kind of makes an assessment that you probably are.
I reel off some machines that I used to work with, and I go like, I used to do all kinds of, the old Hardy's spinnakers, and
well, they still don't really let me near any of that stuff, to be honest.
Well, you've got it all to look forward to. It's all changed since I was your age. But yeah, no, is it it seems like a big factory. It must be some local lordling with all these money to throw at a factory like this. It seems like you've got all the stuff set up.
You see him kind of look over at the group, and he's like, "I'm not really allowed to say about
no, it's understandable. It's all that's what they call that intellectual property. That's you can't give away the secrets. That's where you get in trouble. Good on you. Of course, everyone's saying that it's all government stuff.
You see him kind of like,
but it's not, is it though? Because I know it's not government stuff. Because I used to work at a government place, and they it wouldn't be like this. So it does make me think. I mean. I don't think that it doesn't have the you guys don't have the look of machinists. You can see it in the hands, can't you? It's not really. Well,
Well,
I don't know where I'm going with this either.
I just run things around for people, really.
Yeah, well, that's where you start. And then you're off to anything. What kind of thing? At least getting a chance to get your hand in doing something. You working with any tools, or because a good place to start is with is if you can get kind of specialist things. You have any specialist bits? I knew a guy once who got really into this. It's a machine. I say a machine. That's the way in. That's the ticket.
I'd better get back.
Oh, of course.
Nice to meet you.
No. Enjoy your egg.
You saw that he was a little taken aback when you said everyone says it's government work. But yeah, they're potentially sworn to some kind of secrecy.
Got
in
it.
the way that he was sort of, dancing around it. Mrs. Farwell. Ooh.
I haven't really figured out this plot yet, Johnny.
Well, you see a van coming down the road towards you.
So, first point, I have realised, unless it has Henderson manufacturing on it, it could be any van. So,
Well, if
No,
if you
wrong.
keep stopping them, then eventually,
Yes. And far, like, some of my
Crazy
ideas have
woman
got rubbed
stumps
off on
every
you.
van.
Okay, make a spot hidden roll.
Okay, that I've got a chance there.
There's like a mummy sticking out the back.
Oh my gosh, I rolled a
Driving.
97. My spot hidden
Oh.
is 87.
your spot hidden is
Uh,
what?
87, and I rolled a
You guys
97.
need new dice.
Can I push? Is this a pushable roll, Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely
roll-
push.
I rolled a 4 for Ted. So
Okay, I won't push.
Yeah.
Good.
You should push.
So from far away, Ted says, "Yeah, this is the one. It's on the side." And
okay.
you can see as it gets now he's pointed it out to you, and as it gets a bit closer, you can see that it is a Henson manufacturing truck, but it is weathered and such, and it's not unfair for you to have not seen it properly from where you were.
Mrs. Farwell's plan is to use that smoke bang thing to throw it at the right moment to get it to come out of the grill of the van. So the guy's like, "Oh my god, my engine just exploded," because tons of smoke will come out of it.
Okay.
So stop immediately. Even if it's just in the road, but I realize that there's some challenge in doing this.
I
like
suppose
it.
it's a throw.
If I might ask, I probably would naturally ask Mr. Hobbs to do it, but I don't think his throw is going to be better than mine anyway, because no one puts skills and points in throw.
I've got points in throw, I think. I've
It's a very long throw.
That's
40
more
in
than
throw.
the minimum. I have a 22 in throw.
So
I've got 40 in throw.
So I will. You can make arguments for other things. My other idea was sleight of hand as an option.
Okay,
for this.
well, I would very much prefer sleight of hand, but it is a
Can
moving
I,
bit.
can I suggest something Ted might say?
because I think that you might want to hide that you have thrown it,
Yeah.
and therefore it could fall under sleight of hand.
My intention is more, walking along the street nonchalantly and just like backhand, like towards the vehicle vaguely, so at least a good amount of smoke. I'm not
So
in
actually,
the grill.
targeting isn't actually the point of this. It's
It produces a lot of smoke very quickly.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it'll
Sure. Give me that roll.
sleight of hand. Yes, that's a hard success.
Okay, nice. So you release this smoke bomb.
Okay. I am immediately going to ask before we even I'm assuming the van is stopping pretty quickly. I'm going to say, Ted, go up and distract the driver like you're helping him with the engine. And then I'll basically follow behind the van, trying not to be seen for a bit while Ted goes to do that.
I think Ted might go up and start taking pictures of the smoking
Cool.
van.
Yeah.
At which the guy will jump out and go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Okay. Perfect distraction. Assuming Ted isn't taking pictures of me and the guy's not paying attention, I'm gonna first of all just assess the back of the van to see if it seems easily openable, accessible. Assuming the guy isn't paying attention or watching.
Yeah, it's like a partially open backed.
Perfect. Okay. Can I slide my way in?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%
Yeah.
Okay. Vans in the day were pretty noisy too, so there's a good chance that there's no way you'd hear me in the van. So I'm gonna go and try and have a look at this presumably box that's in there.
So you find in here some boxes which are marked with a couple of different labels each. which basically so the origin of these shipping labels say Randolph Shipping Company, Port Darwin, Northern Territory, Dominion of Australia.
Okay, that's somewhat unexpected.
And the latter shipping label is the Penhew Foundation.
Okay. So this means they were shipped from Australia. This isn't just the base of the company. Got it. Okay. Interesting. What sort of boxes are we talking about? Like a range of different sizes, big wooden nailed together crates, or anything different, Johnny?
Yeah, they're like crates. Yeah, like your stereotypical wooden crate.
Yeah. The slats totally sealed, or can I like see between / get my hand between gaps in the wood?
You would need to do some prying and levering.
Okay. And there's no indication externally what these are other than just boxes at this point.
No.
Can I hear what's going on outside? That's probably what I would do next. Pause to see if I have an indication of what's happening outside the vehicle.
Yeah, make a listen roll.
Oh, I can do that. Fail.
Okay. You hear a conversation. You definitely hear Ted's voice and the driver's voice, but you can't tell at what stage of conversation they are or anything like that. They do still seem to be round the side or front of the truck.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to get access to these without either making a huge noise or in any reasonable amount of time, because I don't have any tools or anything, unless there's tools lying about in the back of here, which I assume there aren't, Johnny? Yeah. The last question I have is, can I lift any of these myself? Or are they all large?
They're all sort of whatever that would be, like 4 foot by 4 foot kind of crates. Is that right? 4 foot, 3 foot by 3 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that feels like all I'm going to be able to get out of this. There's no like papers or anything in here that I can see. Anything else that would give us more information?
Apart from the shipping labels, no. There may be documentation within the crates, but again, you'd have to be prying into them to get that out.
Yeah. And there's nothing else on the shipping label that's valuable to us. It's not worth like tearing one off to take with. It's really just it's not like the symbols or any other.
No, it's just the companies that it's passed through, essentially.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I think the last thing I will do is just linger very close to one of the crates / put my head right against like one of the crates just to see if it feels weird before I leave.
Give me a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Okay. Technically possible. That's not a success.
No, fine.
Yeah. Not too surprised. Yeah, I think I'm going to take my opportunity to cut my losses here before I do anything really stupid and slide my way back out, presumably if I can still hear them talking at the other end of the vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of do you wander around the front and catch back up with Ted?
I think I will let them have their conversation. Maybe just wander along the footway nearby to catch Ted's eye, but like I'm just wandering by.
You hear you hear Ted say, that's your problem there. It's the carburetor valve with the lensoscopic. Yeah, you'll want to have somebody to. It'll be fine to go now, though, mate. You just want to have somebody have a look at that, and then wanders off and leaves the guy looking incredibly confused.
Perfect.
I do have an image of the shipping label.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, I have noted down, so that's good. Yeah, I'm happy to wander around the corner back in the direction of the cafe, I think, at that point, to catch up with everyone else.
Cool. The folks in the cafe, other than Mr. Farwell, are you doing anything other than sort of observing, listening, etc.?
Are they all in one group?
Yeah, they're all sitting around one table. The ones that have come from thingy, yeah.
I think I might try and start a group conversation. I'm going to try persuade, and I'm going to try and pose myself as a writer, writing about factory life, industrial factory life of Derby. That sounds like a thing a person might write about.
What's the state of unions at this point in time?
I can't remember.
Get paid more for keeping secrets.
Oh no, my dice have failed me. It's a 78
Sure.
over 55.
There are worse I knows. There are worse I knows.
And what were you rolling that on? Sorry, John.
Persuade.
Okay. You get the impression that one of these guys is kind of the most experienced. And as you introduce yourself to the group, he shakes your hand and introduces himself as Taff Wordsley. And says, do you give your name? Do you give a fake name?
I'll give a fake name, but please don't make me think of it off the top of my head.
Okay. He says, yeah, I'm afraid, well, it's all a bit boring what we do. Certainly nothing worth writing about in a book.
Well, I would disagree. I think there have been so many instances from history of seemingly everyday things that have been lost as culture and society have moved on. I think it's important to capture the important work that people like you are doing.
You could speak to Old Smith's Mill down the road. They'd probably have some people who chat to you.
Do they have a place that they tend to congregate on lunch, or is it just a case of catching them at the pub?
They're a bit of a sandwich group.
Right.
Not like
Keep themselves to themselves a bit, but they're they're all right. If you do catch them in the pub, they'll they'll stick to their round.
Understood.
But yeah, I think there's more interesting things going on down there. More of them as well. Probably more interesting individual stories.
Well, if you change your mind, I hope to see you around.
Hi, good to meet you.
And I'll head back to the group for my egg.
They were friendly and they continued chatting amongst themselves about daily stuff, nothing about work. But, you know, it wasn't like they were totally exclusionary and all like staring at you weird.
Which I find remarkable, really, given our performance so far.
This is like every other week for them. Some other people go, what the hell's going on in this factory?
So, yeah, Mrs. Farwell and Ted reappear with you.
I think I would encourage us to linger in the cafe until it's quieter, and then we can have a conversation about what happened.
We'll wait
Unless
till
anyone
after
wants to do anything else while the workmen are still here.
Mm-hmm. So if we assume nothing
Yep.
crazy happens before 1 o'clock.
It does not.
Good.
Well, myself and Ted had rather the adventure. Looking side to side, I will say, did you see a van drive into the main building?
Did we?
Ooh, make spot hidden rolls because you were all kind of engaged in other.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
85 again.
Maybe Edwin wasn't. I don't know.
Oh, I rolled a 16, so that is a hard.
Okay, Merit did.
Well, that might help with the next question because you got a hard success. Did you see a little wisp of smoke coming out of the front of its bonnet?
I am gonna say that the smoke went sort of like underneath, so it appeared to be coming out of the bonnet, but it wasn't like the thing was lodged in the radiator or anything.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been lingering that long.
Yeah, there may have been a small amount, but you wouldn't have seen it from a distance.
Never mind. I don't say that. I'll just say, well, I believe that's the same van that I had an encounter with, and we managed to stop it. And Mr. Hobbs distracted the driver, and I had a little peek inside. Thankfully, no one spotted me. I think it was only the driver there. I didn't manage to get very much information. There were a few boxes, like 4 boxes or something like that, Johnny. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
4 boxes about 3 foot by 3 foot in there, all wooden, sealed in. I couldn't really get a look or a sense of what was inside them. They certainly seemed heavy enough, but I couldn't move them. Not surprising, really. They were from Port Darwin in Australia. A company called Randolph Shipping Company had shipped them to the Penhew Foundation. I suppose that's a little surprising to me. I thought they would have come from Africa or some such. Otherwise, I didn't really.
They were Penhew Foundation, though, you said.
Yes, they were addressed to the Penhew Foundation from Port Darwin, Australia. Otherwise, there wasn't very much I could gain information-wise in there, and I thought it best to cut my losses before I was caught, or ended up getting driven into the compound. So I leapt out. I don't think the driver suspected anything untoward.
Interesting.
And it seems unusual that they wouldn't mark the boxes for the factory itself. I mean, clearly there's a link between the Penhew Foundation and this place.
True.
I don't know. I mean, if the driver knows where they're going, he'll have a manifest. That's all it needs. Like, this is a shipping thing that's come. Customs has put this on. Or it's good. It's a customs. That seems to me more. Is that kind of does that look about right, Johnny? Like, this is like a kind of like this is an outgoing stamp.
And then somebody there on the docks.
This Randolph Shipping has slapped that on as a kind of like package from Australia kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, it's that's what's happened there. That's what I think at least.
Nonetheless, Australia. Did we have any information about?
I'm sure we've heard something about Australia.
We had a conversation with Professor Anthony Cowles, who gave a talk at New York that Elias had a flyer for. We wondered whether they'd spoken, but they hadn't. So we don't actually know if Elias had gone to see them. But Cowles was aware of Elias's work because Cowles is an expert in cults and mythology of Polynesia and Australia.
So it's possible that the Penhew Foundation is shipping in artifacts from tribes and cults from all over the world, not just from East Africa.
If the Penhew Foundation have got an interest in this kind of thing, then maybe they have a general occult interest that started in Egypt, maybe, or has a centralization on Egypt. But is more broad than we'd been anticipating.
Yes, that seems possible. I feel slightly more confident in suggesting now that there's something going on there. Did you find anything out from the employees?
There was a newbie who was. It seems like they're very secretive about it, and they keep it really, really close. They don't seem to be, you know, they don't seem to be. What's the word? They don't seem to be, you know, odd. You know, they're not sinister. They all seem to be relatively friendly.
Secretive.
But they know that they're not supposed to talk about anything, and that must be impressed on them very early on.
So obviously, we assume that they're not doing anything that they think of as awful or perhaps illegal, but they still know that they shouldn't reveal it to anyone.
The kid says he mostly moves things around from point A to point B, and that's all they really pay him for. So they don't have very many employees, and even the ones that they do have aren't necessarily doing any real machining work.
Still not that much to go off.
No.
I feel like we have some confidence that potentially some sort of artifact or strange object from abroad has come to this factory, and then they're doing something with it, perhaps. And all of the people who are involved in it are trying to not reveal what's going on in there. I mean, it's certainly suspicious, but it's not a lot.
It's not a lot to justify breaking an entry into a facility into a factory that we know has got guards, and that those guards have been brought from London, and maybe you're not messing around.
Did they say they were brought from London?
Well, they were not brought from here, so
No.
they're better than the best that Derby's got to offer.
Wow.
Or they wouldn't have been brought.
That's a point.
I think we might still check out this bunkhouse that they've all been assigned to. The bunkhouse is probably less well guarded than the factory, when the guards aren't in it, at least.
That does make sense. Do we know where it is?
The cafe owner mentioned it, didn't they?
There was an intimation from the newspaper chap.
Oh, the newspaper chap. Sorry, yeah.
That
Gavigan was putting them up somewhere. I mean, Wilfred followed.
I went some of the way. We could try that again.
But then again, that was the employees leaving, the standard workers leaving at the end of the day. So I imagine
that
guards
was the
would
impression
be.
that you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guards would be leaving at the crack of dawn if they're in there overnight, wouldn't they?
Potentially, yeah.
Unless there's more than one shift.
One would assume there'll be multiple shifts, at least 2 or 3, if they're guarding 24-hour. At this point, we're not exactly certain, but I feel like it would be surprising if there wasn't at least one guard there all night.
I think we asked previously about whether there were any sort of decent vantage points in the local area for sort of keeping an eye on. I know we couldn't get to the floor above the cafe without breaking into the cafe, which was kind of an escalation. I'm presuming there isn't anywhere nice and convenient to sort of like climb
There
on a
isn't
roof
really
and-
anywhere that you can sort of see over the walls or anything like that
Mm.
from around here.
So at this point, we can either try intercepting crates as they leave, but pulling the same trick on the van might be a,
Not again.
I told him to
whenever I-
look at it.
Yeah.
Whenever I drive past this lady, my engine explodes.
What a euphemism. Yeah, I mean, I think I would like to. I think I might ask around about. I think there might be places I could ask around about where these guards are staying, like in a way that is, asking about where there are places to stay. To have what kind of places like that, places that are, like meet that description of where they are, rather than where the guards sleeping. With a bit more stuff than that. But who I would ask, I don't know. Ask at the pub, probably. That's what I would think.
You can do that.
Could ask the cafe owner.
The cafe owner's already got so much. The cafe owner's just watched us like, who the fuck are these guys? Like who keep spying on my best customers? Like,
Yeah, it's probably best to chop and change and
yeah,
We've ordered our fair share of eggs.
that's true. Yeah. Look, no more egg jokes, for all I'll be thinking about is egg puns for the rest of the story. So, yeah, no, I would ask the pub, and I'm happy to make a charm roll, or if there's a better roll that I could be making, also happy to make that.
Are you going to the pub like after everybody will have finished work?
Yeah, probably, because
And sort of the closest pub to here?
yeah, where they might
yeah.
be working, for example. Where the work, I mean, like, again, I think it's already a shame that Farmer would have wanted to go to the pub anyway to have a drink. So, that's a thing. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Cool. Is everyone else going to the pub? Are you going as a group?
I don't know whether we should, if we should just skip forward an afternoon, or if there's something else we should be doing.
I don't know what else to do with the afternoon, though. The only other thing I want to do is really watch, because I was kind of vaguely wondering about the guards and if we could get a vibe for how many there are and what they're doing. But it's kind of more important to do that maybe in the evening, because I'm curious about whether
I think like watching the place in the evening is a good idea. See what the guard situation is, like see how many lights are on at night and that kind of thing is a sensible idea.
Sourcing some ladders.
Yeah.
Could peek over the the wall at the back.
Oh, just to look over.
Yeah, you don't have to leap in immediately, but
Okay. So do you want to split the party and one group stay and keep an eye on this place and the other go to the pub?
We've
Or
already
do you want to do them at
covered-
different times? As one group.
I feel like again it's kind of dodgy for us all to just go to the pub together in this. So I probably at least some of us do something else maybe.
I think I should do something else because I've already questioned half of the group.
okay. Well, I'll go along to the pub as well then. But my intention would be that I'd be just kind of hanging around.
You can make a listen roll.
Well, yeah, I'd be just sort of mingling, just being unobtrusive, and listening to conversations, gossip, that sort of stuff.
Okay. I think Ted would stay with his camera at Henson.
Mhm.
Is my gut feeling.
Mhm.
I'll go to the pub as well then. I think I've been out enough and doing exciting things. I'll relax at the pub and have a drink, and yeah, just watch and listen as well.
Cool.
It's important to blow off steam every now and then when you're chasing
Exactly.
cults.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you go a bit weird.
Okay, do you guys want to roll charm or listen or whatever you're sort of doing?
I'll roll a listen.
Oh, yeah, fine. I will roll charm because I think it's the best roll for it. But I was kind of like, oh, maybe I could try and take my intimidate. Maybe I could try and take my fast talk, which is really low. Oh well, I do charm. I rolled it. I rolled a 3, and I was like, I could have ticked any. I could have ticked anything. I could have ticked anything. I could take. I could have rolled electronic repair, and we'd have found an answer with this 3. Like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you playing this?
I'm just having a drink, you know, and you know, I am Wilfred Farwell, a very friendly person, and you know, it's easy to talk to me over the course of an evening as I'm buying drinks for me and my friends with the landlord or with the pub worker or the whoever it is or the locals at the bar. I'm just interested in what's going on around town.
Okay.
That's how I'm playing it. We're going to be here for an hour or two. Like, you know, it's a pub. People talk at pubs. That's my understanding.
Okay. Over the course of a couple of hours, you manage to, as the conversation kind of weaves its way around, and I think you rolled incredibly well. I think you probably kind of you know, making friends with the bar staff, and
through tips, money, or through through money, buying drinks for people and things like that. Money helps. Spending money helps.
And you kind of get to the point where you're like, oh, you know, it's a nice place. This, you know, and I know that I could probably stay here. We already have some lodgings. If I wanted to stay for a little longer, maybe get a little bit of work in one of the factories, is there somebody around there that kind of puts people up and that kind of thing? The main name that comes up is a Mrs. Joyce Bulrush. And also then you get a kind of, but she's currently full with lads from the Henson manufacturing. And you get an address, which is, you've seen the street. It's like a couple of 100 meters down the road from Henson's.
Cool. That's good. Yeah. No. That's good. Yeah.
That was actually investigation. Well done. That's.
I know. That, all of those 85s averaged out in a 3. You know what I'm gonna? Yeah, I think that's really helpful. I mean, I'm in no rush to go and investigate it, so I'm still here. But anyone else make any rolls? I don't know.
I tried to listen and failed, so you know, I'm just drinking. I think at this point.
Yeah. Just to commiserate.
Oh, if you failed, should I spend luck? No, it's irresponsible. It's a bit too much luck. I think I also.
It doesn't matter as long as I exist. It doesn't matter what your luck score is, as long as
yeah, you're
it's
right.
above.
You're the canary.
We're almost always together.
There's never going to be a situation where we're not together and you need to use luck and your life depends on it.
Sam, don't spend it.
Okay, I won't spend a luck. GM is always right.
Is that a double bluff though?
Yeah, it could be a double bluff.
Yeah, I'm also enjoying a drink. I think my nerves were a bit shook. I was very brave earlier, and I deserve this drink.
You did see a ghost last night.
And I was more talking about the van, but okay.
John, the cafe closes.
Mm-hmm.
What are you sort of planning on doing in terms of lingering? Have you got a thought of what you might do?
I mean, are there any alleys or other establishments?
So there's down either side of Henson Manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you you either know or you could have been told by Wilfred which direction all the workers left in, so you'd know which side to be down if you wanted to see them leave, or if you definitely didn't want them to see you when they left, you could be down the other one, and so on. There are, there's obviously little streets off to both, like on the opposite side of the road as well, down either side of the cafe. Not directly either side, but there's sort of 4 or 5 buildings and then roads off. So yeah, you can kind of peer around a corner, or you can be down either side or around the back of Henson Manufacturing, or a little further down the road in the opposite direction. And then you know that they at least wouldn't see you as they were leaving if they go the same way again. There's a number of options. Obviously, if you're just sort of in the street, like waiting around, even that may not particularly arouse any suspicion. Although if this is a government run complex, there may be other thoughts to be had about it.
I think we should hide down the alley by Henson on the opposite side of where they're going.
Okay, so they won't pass you.
Yes.
Is that okay?
And I think
Cool.
If there is a point in time earlier in the evening before they're due to leave to do something else, I'm going to go get a ladder and store it around the back of Henson.
Okay.
And then I will suggest to Mr. Hughes, after everyone has left, if he has taken pictures of anyone interesting looking leaving, or any vans or whatever, that we go round the back, and instead of going over the wall, go so he can hold his camera over the top of the wall and take pictures of the inside.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So after they leave, you how long are you waiting?
I'm going to assume the factory would let out at around 5 or 6.
It's 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Right. So I think waiting until 6 to make sure there's no stragglers, I guess.
Okay. So just before 6, 2 people walk past the end of the alleyway, going towards the gate, and make a listen roll, and I'll make one for Ted, actually. That's a no for Ted.
Oh, that's a no for me, but I could spend luck reasonably, or I could push it.
I mean, Justin's 26 luck anyway, right?
Yeah.
How much luck would you be spending?
5.
That's quite a lot of luck.
That's a lot of luck. It's really pushing your luck.
That's not that much luck.
But Wilfred did spend 5
10.
luck to avoid a bed, so...
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Surely I didn't. That would be ridiculous.
I think I might. I've been standing here fairly bored, so I might actually push.
Okay.
By maybe standing too close to the exit.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
3.
Woo! Okay,
Good.
yeah. So you
That's
are
good.
down. You're a little way down the alleyway to begin with, so that people just kind of casually glancing as they hit the corner wouldn't see you because you're further down. So you see them walk past the end, and then you get to the point where you and you're kind of interested as they walk past. You wonder if they're going to Henson Manufacturing, which of course is interesting. And as you hear their footsteps basically reach the edge of your ability to hear them, you kind of go, oh, and like rush forward a little bit. And you hear them have a bit of a conversation at the gate. And then you hear the gate unlock and swing open with a bit of a... they seem to go inside. Are you getting right to the corner and peering round as well? Just so I know whether to give you visuals. Yeah, okay. So can you make me a stealth roll?
What cheek?
Me in. 49. That is a fail.
Okay. Wow, I also rolled a 49.
Let's hope they have
Again,
bad spot hidden.
For any viewers, the 49 is rolling 2 49s in a row is the same chance as rolling a 49 and anything else. Okay, they go inside. You see them, they disappear from sight. And then 2 people come back out of the gate and start walking towards you.
2 different people, yeah?
2 different people.
Okay.
And you kind of duck back round and you hear the gate swing close and lock again.
Okay.
If you were gonna guess, this is like a guard changeover. So from what you've seen, it looks like there is potentially a night watchman who may just stay on the gate, and then potentially 2 guards also at any given time. At least overnight. You're not sure about the number of guards who are active during the day on site.
Could I overhear anything from their conversation, even if not words, just like accents? So, like, were they speaking English for a start?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was nothing that made them particularly stand out in terms of they were just sort of having a all right, nice day, kind of, greeting conversation, and then a goodbye when the other guys left. Yeah, nothing particularly of note in what was said.
All right. Cool.
So now at some point you want to go, do you still want to carry on with your plan as was set?
I don't want to talk for Jack, but I think Ted would be up for it. So I think
so as well. Yeah.
Let's go for it.
So
he's the one on the ladder, so
Merritt, of course, is reasonably aware of the layout. So are you looking to see if there's anything sort of out of place or weird here rather than just a scoping of the layout again?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any particular kind of place that you would like to try and take the pictures from based on your knowledge of the layout? So hang on, let me see how easily I can share this without giving anything away. I think that's fine.
If you just cover up the tentacles and the Cthulhu, then I think probably
nobody will know.
None the wiser.
What? Is that it?
You
That's
showed us one last week, right?
Yeah, I can't remember what has happened there. So anyway, yeah. So if you're along the back here, then the thing marked 12 is a wooden shed. 11 looks like a outhouse, sort of toilet.
Right.
And then there's 2 large buildings like workshops. So obviously the sort of large open space which you could get a picture of quite a lot from is like that area.
Mm.
Ooh.
I think if we can do 2, then one from the area you mentioned, you highlighted, but also maybe one between 12 and 11.
Yeah, so like where the 10-foot brick wall is pointing to, that sort of area. Yeah.
Just see if there's anything weird about the shed at 12.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna make some rolls for Ted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can roll to assist him? I don't have
With noises that positive, why would you bother?
That was such a good success.
Did he leave the flash on?
He's got shot again.
Not quite, but nearly.
Oh, does this camera blow up again?
It doesn't blow up. So he got one really good photo, which which order are you taking the photos in? Where would you set the ladder up first?
Probably the wide open one.
Okay, cool. That photo is great. The other photo, there's low lighting and he slips a little on the ladder as he's taking the picture. It was a 92. It wasn't quite a fumble, but it wasn't great. You obviously aren't quite aware of this yet, but he does realize that he's slipped and think it's maybe not that great. But then you can hear the guards sort of having a conversation near you, and perhaps they're patrolling the grounds inside nearby. So you decide Ted probably decides not to risk a second shot at this point.
Yep. I think I might suggest we wait. Wait until the voices disappear, and then I'm just gonna peek over the wall.
Okay. So, you can see the 2 large structures, and you can see that one of the buildings, the one down the right-hand side of the thing, has chimneys. So there could be a furnace in that one. There's a small wooden shed and toilet block as described. Nothing looks strange about the shed. It literally looks like a garden shed. It's quite small, especially in comparison to the other much larger buildings. You can see that there is sort of a little kind of wooden single-person hut thing near the front gate, which presumably the night watchman sits in. You catch a glimpse of the 2 other guys kind of wandering around the grounds. That's it. There's not really anything out in the open.
Okay.
Is there much? Obviously, I'm not there, but is there much cover beyond the buildings? Is it just
the buildings in the yard?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but this corner as it is fairly secluded. between the shed, the toilets, and the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not putting words in your mouth. If you drop down here now, nobody would be able to see you
Yep.
from where they are now in the grounds. And there is scope for moving around the smaller buildings to avoid a guard route and that kind of thing.
Okay. I think we stash the ladder somewhere sort of nearby, because we will need it again. And then we will reconvene with the group to pass on this information to someone more stealthy and sneaky, and also to get a rope at a later point, because we need to be able to get out again as well.
Preferable.
Yes.
Now that's thinking ahead.
This sounds
Do
very
we have anyone more stealthy and sneaky?
Don't know.
I don't think we do.
Where's our PI?
Still outside Zaros Peak's spice shop.
Hopefully.
At least
Or
does anyone
face
have
down in the
climb?
Thames.
Yeah. Anyone have any climb?
Oh, I've got climb.
Okay, good. We've got some climb, even if no
I
stealth.
mean, Ted has quite a lot of climb as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
10 on 10. Look,
Ted and Wilfred, dream team.
It's the dream team, yeah.
Good.
But what I will say is I have base stealth.
I
You
think
see,
we all have base stealth, Justin.
Yeah, I
Oh,
presume
no,
for some reason that Wilfred was.
No, I don't presume anything. I'm just saying I'm not saying that someone else is better at me at this idea. I'm just saying the idea is fraught.
Right.
Yes, that's a fair point. I think
The chances of
hope
any of
is-
us carrying this off successfully are low. And also, Farwell's has Price got good accounting? No, it's a
Maybe.
genuine question. Maybe.
Yes.
Like,
That
Farwell's
doesn't
got a
generally help with hiding. Right?
No. But Farwell's got a question for Price, like on the walk back from the pub,
Hmm.
which is, do you think they really are a government organisation? Because like their accounts were all skew-if.
Well, they hadn't sent in
They've got-
accounts to Company's House, and
Or
I
maybe they
wouldn't
don't need
imagine-
to.
Well, I wouldn't
because-
imagine a government organisation would be listed in Company's House.
Or maybe they'd be
So-
listed with. I'm just saying, that's why I'm asking you to make I'm like, just with your accounting law knowledge, like, does this sound like it could plausibly be a front for a government organisation? Like the whole Penhew Foundation.
Oh, I
like-
see.
Like, what if Penhew is like, because we're not the only people who've cottoned on. We can't be the only people who've cottoned on to all this stuff. Like,
It's a question.
it can't be that the only people in the world who know about this are a bunch of cultists, a dead guy, and half a dozen Brits on a jolly. Like, I assume that there were no professionals doing this kind of stuff, but what if there are? What if that is what the Penhew Foundation is?
Well, we need contacts in government to. I suppose we could.
I'm just saying, because if I break into a government facility, that's a bit different from breaking into a factory in Derby.
This is based on the information we had from Miss Shafiq, and if assuming we're trusting in any sense Miss Shafiq's information, then we assume that Gavigan and therefore this industry is connected with nefarious and perhaps evil doings.
Yeah,
I mean, I would
Government,
suggest.
one would hope Her Majesty, His Majesty's government would not be involved in such evil doings.
If anything, it makes it more likely. I'm just saying, I'm not sure that. Far I would say I'm not sure that follows. I mean, we've done things that we've thought. Well, I've done things that I thought were the greater good. I broke into Miss Shafiq's house. I mean, governments can get all kinds of ideas about what they think is supposed to be the right way of handling things. Maybe they think the right way of handling things is murdering a load of Egyptians. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that if I don't mind breaking into a factory in the middle of Derby,
I would.
but if it turns out that this thing is much bigger, then we might be biting off a lot. We might be just not being adequately prepared for the situation.
Our business, it seems, has become in preventing cult activity from occurring. We have reason to believe that the death of people in London connects to cult activity, whether it's private individuals, an organization, or even the government. They're still doing something that we're fundamentally against, as far as we're aware, I suppose. So we shouldn't stop investigating them based on who it is. I suppose that's how I would feel about it.
All right, okay, that's fine. Just thought I'd raise it as a potential possibility.
It seemed, Mr. Barton, that you were genuinely suggesting we should climb over that wall then.
I was stating it was a possibility should someone wish to do it. And
Wow.
I cannot think currently of a further way for us to find out what they're doing in there without entering it.
Well, I am agreement in that front. I think we've exhausted every alternative. Even climbing into the van did not yield as much information as I'd hoped. But I suppose we have to ask the question, is this all the information we can safely get? Or do we take that step? I think I'll probably look at Mr. Price.
Well, the only other alternative that I can think of is being barefaced enough to walk in during the day and pretend to be auditors and ask them about their missing tax information. But
I just don't think we would get let in, though, would we? No matter how well we bluffed it.
Denying entry to an official inspector of the government could cause problems, but yes, indeed, it is that would be a move that would require a significant amount of chutzpah.
And one would assume that His Majesty's inspectorate would not be allowed to see anything that they didn't want to be seen, and therefore we may simply end up in some front of office without any more useful information and then forced out again, as opposed to sneaking in and gaining access to secrets they don't want seen. Not that I'm necessarily saying that's a good idea.
What would be the risk to self if we attempted this and it failed?
Pretty much nothing, surely.
What do you mean? You get caught, arrested potentially, and perhaps.
What, arrested for impersonating a tax official?
Oh, I thought you meant sneaking in.
No.
I mean, you probably could get arrested for impersonating a tax official. Mr. Price would know best, but
True.
You know, I don't see it going anywhere.
But would an organisation that is potentially committing tax fraud wish to pull attention to their tax records by accusing someone of being a fake? This is very hypothetical.
I think it's worth a go.
I don't know if they're even committing tax fraud, though. They just haven't submitted their accounts. They're probably not in any rush to do it. They'll probably apologise and have some accounts to hand over, and that will be the end of it.
Potentially.
Which doesn't necessarily help us very much. Even if we get their accounts, I'm not sure they would be incriminating.
Could be very helpful. Do we think that could we create some documentation, some sufficiently convincing documentation? How would one go about creating such sufficiently convincing documentation, do we think?
Well, there are all sorts of there's all sorts of legislation governing emissions and pollution. He says probably not, but legal documents can be very easy to. It is quite easy to write something that sounds legal, but in fact has no basis on.
I mean,
it isn't immediately actionable.
Yeah, I think that's very likely.
The other. This is more risky and is quite a bold play, but if we were to introduce ourselves as representatives of Miss Shafiq. Say that she sent us here.
That is an interesting idea. Or some
I don't
other
know.
specifically involved group with the Penny Foundation or something else that we've picked up on that might immediately encourage them to bring us to whatever they're doing here.
I hasten to add, I have no idea how that would end up. I'm sure it would provoke a response, but that falls back on our standard method of investigation, it seems.
Jonny, could you give us an idea about how long Edwin thinks it would take to create a document that would be moderately, possibly convincing as some kind of legal justification for entering and examining tax records? Which I know it's on the book, probably on page 3 or 4. That's a really basic request.
You're on mute.
Probably not long. Like everything in that day was, either typewritten or handwritten. There's nothing to suggest that you wouldn't show up with, like, if you know the name or make up a name of somebody in charge of a tax office, and you show up with a letter and a gutsy, I have the right to be here. They're not going to argue with a tax official, probably. But it depends. Like, if if it's a legitimate business, right? If you rock up at the hotel that you're staying at with a letter claiming to be from the tax office and saying that you want to audit their accounts, they'll basically, presumably, sort of fall at your feet with all of the stuff that you need because they don't want to get in trouble with the tax office. If it is a government agency, they might think that you're a spy because all of this stuff will have been done in the background and nobody will be looking at this stuff to audit. So, it's you would figure out whether it was legit or not pretty quickly, but maybe not in a way that would be good for you. Yeah. So, in answer to Justin's original question, it wouldn't take you long to put together something that looked like you had a right to audit some finances.
Let's do it.
The alternative is creating a distraction at one point in the yard whilst somebody sneaks in and does something at another point in the yard. So it's a bit annoying that the wooden shed is right by. If one was to pop over a wee little fire incendiary of some description, the shed's burning. That might distract the guards.
What's got into you, Steve, today? Today is your plan. You've got all kinds of plans today, all kinds of schemes involving fireworks and bombs
You could get over the wall at the right-hand side and drop in behind the other large building.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That takes up almost the full length of that wall. So,
Mrs. Farwell will say, yes, I was thinking something similar. All we need is to distract the guards and perhaps the man at the gate for a few, 20 minutes, half an hour, which a fire in the shed would surely do. It would allow us to safely move around inside there, even briefly, to check in the buildings.
There's a possibility that something we want to examine is in the shed, however.
Yes. It would be just our luck to set fire to the piece of evidence that we needed to
We'd have to
examine.
take a risk somewhere.
The outhouse, on the other hand.
The outhouse and the shed were the same building, weren't they?
No. They were next to each other.
There's a shed and a toilet block, like a wooden shed and a toilet block.
Though it does mean if they're extinguishing the fire on the toilet block, we won't be able to look at the shed.
And also, we'll burn all the evidence. We'll have nothing to go on.
The toilet block evidence.
Oh, Justin.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
And there's the wrap for the evening.
Wow.
We haven't decided what we're doing
that
yet.
was my grandfather's favourite joke. His favourite joke ever was somebody stole all the toilets at the police station.
Nothing to
Inspector says they've got nothing to go
That's the real
yeah,
atmospheric storytelling that we aim for.
You
Yeah.
ran straight
we
into it.
can
Straight into it.
Such
we
a
can finish
granddad
the plan
joke.
next week.
Yeah, really, it was really
We don't
good.
even know what we're doing. I was like, surely this session will at least have an idea of what we're going to do.
I feel
when
like
we
we're
go.
Why would you think
way
that?
further along this session than we were last
Oh.
session. Way further along.
We have a lot of crazy schemes now.
We have multiple crazy scheme options, yeah. We could do both at the same time. We can.
I mean, we could break into the bunkhouse
Some of the front
and
gate
try and
and
find
at the
some more
back.
information there. That's less
Oh.
risky than breaking into the.
Anyway, we should stop plotting and let Johnny do this.
It's all good. Any questions or comments? Put them in the chat. Thank you for joining us. And there are links to things below the stream. So our YouTube, which has many years of material, and our 5-year anniversary video, which is full of choice clips and conversations about the things that we've done in the last 5 years. Also, our social media, our Discord, and our Patreon. I think that we will be back next week also. So I think that is everything on that front. So, John, please fling some things on the screen. Are all the workers being replaced by artificial individuals? I can't answer that, can I? I'm not allowed to answer that yet. These things have got to come out as they come out.
I feel like if they did, they would be ordering a lot more water at the cafe.
Max right at the garden shed of doom.
It will be soon from the sound of it.
John, better question. How has Edwin been thinking about the possibility of having to defend the other investigators in a court of law?
We could have
I guess that question is no longer relevant now that Steve has suggested arson.
With Steve, it wasn't the character.
Is
Steve,
that better? I don't know.
stop suggesting crimes.
Cool. Great. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks players. And yeah, links to everything below the stream. Do go check out the 5-year anniversary video. And we will, I think, see you next week. Goodbye.